play the clip in just a moment, but in the meantime, you're going to have to grab a pencil and a piece of paper in order to take notes and draw an elaborate flowchart in order to hopefully follow MSNBC's latest Donald Trump Russian conspiracy theory. Lawrence O'Donnell dedicated pretty much his entire show to his new conspiracy theory that Vladimir Putin orchestrated the chemical attack in Syria in order to provoke President Trump into a response in order to silence the critics and the questions about whether or not President Trump is Putin's puppet. Are you following me? Now you know why I said you need a pen and a piece of paper. Let me just have Lawrence O'Donnell try to explain this to you. What is this conspiracy theory you've been tweeting about all day, bro?
It's perfect. Just perfect.
What is?
I wish it wasn't.
Oh, what's the evidence?
If Vladimir Putin, if Vladimir Putin masterminded the last week in Syria, he has gotten everything he could have asked for.
You mean the chemical attack?
Vladimir Putin was essentially the man in charge of making sure that Syria got rid of all of its chemical weapons under a deal with the Obama administration. And so it makes perfect sense to question whether President Bashar al-Assad would have checked with his most important patron, Vladimir Putin, before using chemical weapons that Vladimir Putin was supposed to have helped get rid of. It would be terribly embarrassing to Vladimir Putin if President Assad had exposed Vladimir Putin as having completely failed to get rid of those chemical weapons.
What are you trying to say? You're getting at something here, Lawrence. Please break it down for us.
You wouldn't want to be Bashar al-Assad in a conversation with Vladimir Putin after that.
Really?
Unless you had a conversation with him before that. Unless Vladimir Putin said, I have an idea. Go ahead. Do a small chemical attack. Nothing like the big ones you've done in the past. Just big enough.
I'm having a hard time following you here. Why would Vladimir Putin tell President Assad to use chemical weapons on his own people, Lawrence?
Just big enough to attract media attention so that my friend in the White House will see it on TV. And then Donald Trump can fire some missiles at Syria that'll do no real damage. And then the American news media will change the subject from Russian influence in the Trump campaign and the Trump transition and the Trump White House. It's perfect.
It's perfectly insane! Are you following this insanity? He's literally saying that Vladimir Putin ordered Assad to use the chemical weapons in order to have Donald Trump respond so that the news media would stop talking about President Trump and the supposed Russian connections. Let me just clarify that this is not a segment from Saturday Night Live. This is a real broadcast from MSNBC, and they call me a conspiracy theorist. Do you have any other insane ideas you'd like to share with us, Lawrence?
It doesn't just change the subject. For most of the news media, it changes the conventional wisdom about the dynamic between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. President Trump has finally dared to do something that Vladimir Putin doesn't like. It changes everything. As long as you never question whether Vladimir Putin wanted all of this to happen this week. Now, not one word that I've just said could possibly have been said
by a sane person, by somebody who's not just from smoking marijuana. Marijuana doesn't even induce this kind of paranoia. You must be smoking crack!
Don't you miss those days when, if there was a chemical attack in Syria, you could be absolutely sure that President Assad and President Putin did not do that in order to help the image of the President of the United States?
That is insane.
That is the world that Donald Trump has given us.
Listen, people have very different ideas about the strike in Syria. Many Trump supporters are upset. Others are outraged that he would do such a thing. Others think that the outrage is getting blown out of proportion and that this was a minor military intervention that won't lead to a larger conflict between the United States and Russia. But I think that we can all agree that MSNBC's interpretation of this event is absolutely beyond insane. Just when it looked like the liberals were maybe starting to run out of Trump-Russia conspiracy theories, they've opened up a whole new can of worms that's even bigger than the ones before. There is no limit to their insanity. It is insanity to infinity. I'm Mark Dice. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new and check back here every day for new reports, and I'll see you soon.